broadcast. Yeah, we've all been worried about you. Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NewsBeat Nightly. Um, Kind of a weird day. Well, let's start off with just a little bit of what I was saying last night. I basically pulled up Apple here, and I said, "Oh, Apple could go down to like 173." I really thought it could hit the exponential 8. It ended up being 173.14 today. We actually didn't get there. We hit 173.34. But what happened was right away in the morning, what you saw with Apple is it just plummeted. It went from 175.06 to 173.34 in a matter of less than 10 minutes, and then eventually drifted down throughout the day. Short trades still seem very hard, but we are finding them nonetheless. I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight presentation on one of the stocks we're heavy in. The trials and tribulations of holding something with a very large P&L. The type of benefits it brings us, besides for your personal P&L. And what we can basically expect for the market. So people are sluggishly returning here. We know it. And this morning, I basically gave one name I was buying this morning. I basically said, okay, guys, I like Roku. That's it. I mean, I mentioned JEC, and I said I wasn't really too crazy about that one, and I was talking about that in the pre-market, but really, I didn't even trade it. The only thing I really said was, Roku. And we had a little bit of a bullish engulfing bar there on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, digested a little on Friday, and then got a $50 analyst target today, popped up. I'd like to see us break 48.80, followed by breaking $50. And we were all over this name. I'm still holding my call spreads. It's obviously doing rather well. So with that being said, let's just quickly go over my game plan, and I'm going to explain what happened with these names today. We're going to start off, ladies and gentlemen, with a name I've never traded before today. Shinwon Real Estate, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Shin Real Estate. And just little crapper real estate name, Chinese name, breaking out beautifully on the chart. What's going on here today? Well, there was an article that came out from Geo Investing. You gotta sign up for it, but I was able to read it anyway from somewhere else. It got a basically a positive mention. Basically, it's delving into cryptocurrencies, and that seems like to be the new thing. Doesn't matter what you do. You could be Overstock.com, which is like an eBay-styled website that really doesn't have a bidding system, more like just a buy it now for cheap. And they're doing T0, which is a cryptocurrency. Then you have all these other little names that are delving into cryptocurrencies, and they're turning into hot pockets that are just absolutely shooting through the roof. I was extremely clear last night when I said stay away from these blockchain names. Just stay away from them today. Just let them do their thing. Let them go down, dump them, ignore them. And remember what I used Riot as an example, and I basically said, the amount of happiness Riot is going to bring you if it goes to 25 today isn't going to be as bad as how mad you are if it drops to 15. And you could see, it's funny, I use those numbers, it actually dropped to 15.54 today. There's no rhyme or reason. People are like, oh, what happened with Riot today? I mean, it went down, and not even that much compared to how high it went. It went from 8 to 24 to 15. That's bullish. It basically had a 50% retracement, which is, normal for several bullish names. So, I don't know a better analogy. When I was growing up in Brooklyn, they say don't get your panties in a twist. It's not a big deal. It's just a digestive pattern. So, take it for what it's worth. It's digesting, and we're glad we avoided it. In terms of what we didn't avoid was Roku. All over this name today. And congratulations to everyone who was buying and holding this with us. So back to XIN. Chinese Bitcoin cryptocurrency associate. I'm just going to say cryptocurrency association, and they're popping up. That's it. I'm looking for a simple follow through from today's high. Might go down, it might go up. To me, either way, it would look bullish. Next, I'm going to bring you a name, GLYC, and that's glycomimetics. That's glycomimetics. That's GLYC. They just started randomly popping here today. I mean, the company does have this phase 1 and 2 clinical study of one of their drugs, which is for, which has to do with hematology and blood and things like that. Glyco, I think glycogen, glucose, things like in your blood. And the stock really just took off today with very high elevated volume. I'm looking for a follow through to the upside through today's high 1437. Very, very simple look. Last but not least, I don't have a lot of... Notice none of these names are sexy. What do I mean by that? None of these names are like huge companies. They're like these little crapper names that I think can move. That means I really, I'm not seeing much else I like. So I'm going to show you guys right now the Rubicon project. That's RUBI. And you could just see on the chart here, this is a little crapper name, and basically the stock got destroyed on earnings, and for some reason people are buying it back. It's a pure technical look for me. It put in volume, elevated volume today above an exponential 8 moving average. It obviously has a lot of levels above. This stock has been very beaten up. Considering it came down from 20 bucks. And as a result, I'm looking at this one bullishly. But now, I want to congratulate everyone holding Stitch Fix. I want to talk a little about this name, and sort of discuss it a little. And I'm going to actually give you a prediction, which when it comes true, you're going to be like, holy shit, Mark nailed it. So when the stock IPO'd, I was talking about it on this day, which was November 17th. And the stock, pulled in lower. Everybody was thinking the same thing. Oh my God, this IPO is a bust. Except for people in our room, we were telling you guys, or I can't tell you guys to buy, but I was saying, look guys, I'm adding here. This is a gift. This is a gift. Oh, please go down further. This is a gift. This is a gift. And I kept talking like that to you guys. And I added in and I got a full position. And I have a really sweet position on the table here. And I wanted to sort of talk about my size. And I basically labeled this in on that Friday, November 17th. I said, this is $1 million trade. And basically, what I did was I took a boatload of shares, and I'm waiting for this stock to potentially hit $30. And right now, I'm probably about 35% of the way there. I'm probably 35% of the way there. And I want to talk about like the tribulations, the thoughts in my head. I'm going to also predict what the analysts are going to do. And guess what? I'm going to be right. I'm going to be right. And you heard it here first, and I'm going to be right. Sounds cocky? Okay, I'll give you that. But I really don't care about if you can sense cockiness in my voice. That's wait till you see what the analysts do. So you're in a position, you're in a very large position. You're in from 16.5 bucks, and you see the stock now at 23.08, and your position is pretty much up a little less than 50%. I put a $30 target on this name, as you guys already recall. Now I want to talk about the trials and tribulation. I call this the $1 million trade, basically over here on Friday, November 17th. And I said every pullback is a buying opportunity in this one. And this company is going to make, and this company is unique because girls love this. We even have some men in the room who are trying it out right now. I hope you guys get, they said they'll get back to us and let us know how they like the service. but more importantly, the women love this service. Now I'm going to predict what all the analysts are doing. People are looking at this stock today, SFIX, and they're like, this stock exploded up almost 25%. It went up 24% by the close. It was up over 25% at one point. But it was up 24% today with no news. Can I tell you what's happening with this stock? I've smelled this a mile before. So I'm going to make my predictions right now. I'm going to spell them out for you on a notepad so there's no misconception whatsoever of how I feel about Stitch Fix, the difficulties that I'm going through right now. Analyst predictions. You're going to see analysts coming out after X number of days when they all come out of the woodwork together, and they're going to put $28 to $35 targets. Do I have inside information? No. It's obvious. It's obvious what is happening. So what these analysts are doing is their firms are loading up on the stock, because all these big firms out here, whoever the analyst is, Goldman, Morgan, Merrill, Citi, Smith Barney, UBS, Cantor, etc., 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 etc. All these guys are going to be putting on high initiation price targets on this name. How do I know? Do I have a crystal ball? No. Because these are the same douchebags who are buying it right now. And what they like to do is they like to cheat and make money the old-fashioned crooked way. And the way they do that, ladies and gentlemen, is they buy the shit out of a stock. And then they'll come out and humbly say, we like Stitch Fix's business model. We're putting a 28, a 30, a 32, a $35 target on this thing. There are no analysts. There is zero analyst coverage on this stock. That is generally true for new issues. Today's the 6th trading day in this stock's existence. I put a $30 target on it. Now, how do I know what these scumbags are doing? Because the stock's up 24% today on no news. Stocks don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, without insider buying. By insider, I don't mean insider of the companies. Maybe insider of the companies. You have to understand when these analysts, let me explain the process very simply, very fast. What these analysts do when they actually see a name like this is a lot of times they do an underwriting. So Stitch Fix had underwriters. When you do an underwriting, basically Stitch Fix goes to whoever, a bunch of underwriters, Goldman, Morgan, Merrill, etc., 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 just for example, and they say, okay, here's 1 million shares. We need you to hold this price in the market, and we can overallot, and you have to sell these whatever shares, or you definitely have to buy it from us if you want to sell them. So all these companies jumped in. Why? Because when you're that big of a company, people throw you free money, and that's pretty much what Stitch Fix did to these underwriters. However, that's the only way for them to get their stock on the open market, is to go to these big brokerage firms, these big tier 1 firms like Goldman, etc., and they offer it to them. Now, what happened today is you put in the second highest volume day, without the IPO day, of course, is usually the highest. You put in the second highest volume day today. You put in 2.9 million shares. You put in 2.9 million shares on a Monday. So what's happening here? Monday comes in. Nobody knows this stock from the backside of the you-know-what. And all of a sudden, these analysts, or at least their firms, or people, within the firms, are buying boatloads of Stitch Fix. Why? Because they already know what kind of price target they're going to put out. And it's going to be higher than where it's trading at. They're not paying $20, $21, $22, and $23 for this name so they could come out with a $20 target and rate the stock a neutral or a sell. Okay? I've seen these people do it a million times before, and as a result, I think when they do, and it's going to be initiations. It's going to be analyst predictions, which will be initiations, and you're going to see all these people come out complete and utter scumbags, lowest scum of the planet when it comes to the market, because what they do is they drive up the price, these complete asshats. And what they do is they release the information to the public and hope you, Mr. or Mrs. or Miss Trader, is going to buy this at 28 and 29 and 30 and 31 and 32, and they want you to buy it over here. We're a little smarter than that, aren't we? So, indubitably, undoubtedly, inevitably, these analysts are going to come out with higher price targets. Don't fool yourself. I see this a mile away. I can smell it. You ever walk by a bathroom, you smell something, you're like, oh God, I know what happened in there. How? Did you see it? Did you see the person? No, but you know what happened in there. It's the same thing. I could smell these analysts a mile away. And these analysts are pushing up our stock for us. Now, I want to talk about the hard part of holding a position that's up a lot of money. The easiest way to hold a position up a lot of money is try to ignore it as much as possible. This is coming. I am talking to you as an 18-year veteran. I've been day trading since I was 19. I just dated myself. 50% of my life was in front of these screens trading. Okay? And I am telling you, from a person with that, and there are people way more experienced than me and way less experienced than me. But I am telling you, with a person with that much experience, that sometimes not looking at it is the best thing to do. Because if you're in a large position with me, which a lot of you already are, and I've gotten some emails, I'll read one of them. Mark, thank you so much for Stitch Fix. I'm in, I don't want to share his position, but it's heavier than mine. The person is up on a position this size and he has a worse average price than me. The person is up $780,000 right now. And this email, and this is just one email, he's asking me, how high do you still think it's going to 30? How high do you think it should go from here? Where should I set my stop? Yada, 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 yada. Now, this is a very hard question. I can't tell you to hold this stock. I could tell you what I do. It's not easy. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. This is what I am doing to try to hold on to this position. Okay? I'm going to try to ignore it. Meaning, I know it's going to have down moves. We might have a down move tomorrow, probably not because we're gapped up nicely after hours, but we're inevitably going to have a down move, most likely prior to hitting $30, if we ever hit $30, right? That's number one. So I'm going to try, I have it in a separate account. Having more than one account makes life easier, because when I'm trading and scalping and doing things like that, I don't need a sense of destruction when my stock is down a point, and I don't need a sense of accomplishment when my stock is up a point. So by not even looking at it, I'm actually blocking the emotional feedback that I would receive had this stock been up or down. And I think both are negative. A lot of people here, and were telling me, they're like, Mark, I have one account, and I'm chewing up like 80% of my buying power with it. And I'm like, holy shit, that's not good. I mean, it's good because it's working, but I mean, it's not good because it's sort of taking away your ability to trade the markets with the clear head. So, if you have the ability to move those shares to a separate place where you could put it underneath your bed and pull it out later, that would make your day trading and your intraday trading a lot easier. And that's pretty much it. I'm basically predicting that all these scumbag analysts will come out with higher price targets. I humbly believe that the price action you saw today was a direct result of analysts buying in shares for their firm so they could come out at a later date and talk about higher price targets. I would bet money, and I guess I am, to, for myself at least, a larger extent. Wait till you see the analysts talk about this stock. They're going to come out and they're going to be bullish beyond belief. Why? Because they're defending their firm's position. No, I'm going to repeat to you, no analyst ever comes out and upgrades a stock without holding a position that could work in their favor. No analyst comes out and downgrades a stock without either selling a long position or shorting a position prior to you finding out that information. Welcome to Wall Street. These people, that you don't even have to be a good trader to make money at these firms. You think they're sitting there looking at the chart, watching the level 2, looking to see what the market is doing, trying to time in their entries? No. There's some dude with his legs up on his desk, picking his nose, and he's like, "Okay, I think this stock will go up. Let me call it down to my trading room." So he calls down to the trading room. I'm putting this much of a target on this stock. The trading room knows how much money they could allocate to the position, and they slam the shit out of it. They'll put in a bunch of bid. They'll just buy. I'll do a VWAP. I'll do a VWAP. I'll just buy 300,000 shares throughout the day at different prices. That's what happened today with Stitch Fix. And even though I built up a hypothetical scenario for how they did it, I guarantee you it was not much different from how I just explained it. And that's what happened. Could we digest? Inevitably. But just thought I would share with you a little follow through on this one, since so many of you guys are doing well. I can't tell you if this might be the best time to sell. Who knows? No, I don't have a magic ball, but I am using a lot of fundamental and logistical analysis behind this name. So, I went over the stocks I'm trading. Here are my Forex orders if you wish to copy them. We got filled on a Euro New Zealand dollar. It's down a little bit of money right now. We're still in it. I still like the trade. That's, of course, got filled from yesterday. And now if there's any questions that I can answer for you guys, now would be the time to ask. And again, thank you, Rob, because I'm telling you right now, you're never going to hear somebody talk like this, like me. You know why? Not many people understand what the hell happens. Not many people can look at this move and say, why did this go from 19 to 24? Why did this stock go up 25% approximately with no news whatsoever on elevated volume today? What happened? Most people can't answer that. I can. And if these tool bags are buying into this thing, why shouldn't I hold? They're going to pump it for me. You heard it here first. You're going to see several analysts, not just one. I'm not talking about one analyst, several. You know how many of these analysts I have the phone numbers to? Zero of them. And you heard it here first. It is going to happen. I am not a fool. I am not being suckered in. My prediction, this is my prediction, is you're going to see analyst predictions on Stitch Fix, $28 to $35 target. They don't buy it at 23 to put a $25 target. You might have some firms who do that on the low end of the range. You might have some firms who go on the higher end of the range. You know, that always happens, but I'm telling you right now, you're gonna see it. And mark my words right now. One day you're gonna come in the morning and you're gonna look at your news flow and you're gonna look at your analyst initiations. There's no upgrade or downgrade because there's no coverage. I'm not an analyst, right? Not in the legal sense. I'm an analyst in the common, I'm a dude who likes this company to go higher sense. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to walk in one day and you're not going to see one. You're not going to see one analyst cover it. You're going to see 5 to 10 analysts. At least 5 to 10 on the same day. You're going to see it. Mark my words. Lots of pun intended. Mark my words. On the same day, you're going to see 5 to 10 analysts come out on this thing and initiate a higher target. And in the pre-market, it's going to be gapped up as a result. When? I don't know. That's my prediction. Okay. So again, here's my game plan in Forex. If you wish to copy it, please hit print screen now. If you wish to ask me any questions and you're on YouTube, writing it on the right hand side of chat ensures that I will never be able to read it. But if you do want me to answer a question and you're watching it on YouTube, mark.melnick@t3live.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions. First with my room. Oh, my pleasure, Mike. Mike saying, thanks for getting me in and out of Riot. It was easy, Mike, and it's my pleasure. 2 facts. 50%, yeah, well, Apple's a real company. And you know how I define a real company. Facebook is a real company. Facebook looks so much more bullish than Apple. Amazon is a very real company. Ravi, do I have the same conviction in sale as I do SFIX? Yes. But it so far looks like this one is going to hit its target first. No, SFIX was not upgraded. Yep, so Priyanka is saying that she took Stitch Fix in her IRA, so it's not in front of her face. And you're so happy with it? I'm so happy for you. Alright, Ken. Mark, what happens when you hold position down a lot of money? You think you apply the same up? Yeah, I have positions that were, are down a lot of money. Absolutely. It's the same logic. I think you sort of approach it where you tell yourself in your head, I'm risking 100% of this money. And once you do that, nothing will shake you. Do you still add to SFIX at this point in sale? John, not right now. As I told you guys last week, I got a full position in it. And I might raise that full position, I might not. For me right now, I don't know if I could hold every share to $30. That's difficult. But if we start hitting 26, 27, I wouldn't beat myself up by selling there. You know what I mean? Is that legal? Yeah, it's very legal. And that's why I call these analysts the scumbag asshats in which they are. Because You think they're coming out with some phenomenal information for you, and a lot of times they are. But the only point is they buy in first. Unlike here in this room, when I tell you information about things I'm buying, not only do you always hear, that I'm buying it when I'm taking like a swing position, but you hear about it before I buy it. That's called professional courtesy. And that's how I segregate myself from these analysts. My pleasure, Mike. My pleasure, Rob. Ken, can I explain why the rate of price increase on S fixing, for example? Yeah. So these these analysts, these analysts, a lot of them have market on close orders and they have to build a position by the end of the day. And maybe they were waiting for a pullback while buying small. And the end of the day came and they're like, holy shit, we got to get in this thing. That is, in my opinion, why we got that late rally. Just my guess, Ken. Barb, how far do I think PetQ can go? I don't know. Let's take a look. It looks bearish to me, Barbara. Personally, and look, I hope it goes up because I'm assuming you're long, as it is a pretty new issuance. I doubt you're short. It looks very bearish to me. XIN is a little crapper Chinese real estate cryptocurrency involved name. Who knows? Just like Riot, who knows? It's already, I think we could get another day of up move. Maybe we retest. Like, I would like, for example, to break $7.06 and head higher. How's that for a target and a breakout? Break 706. Should we sell SFIX when the analyst parade happens? I don't know, Barbara. Maybe. That's really an impossible question to answer now. You might be 100% right. I mean, the question would be, where's it trading? Is it at 40? Is it at 35? Is it at 30? Is it at 25? Is it at 20? Is it at 15? What are my thoughts on ON, and do I think YRD is ready to bounce? I think you could play YRD versus a 37.19 stop. That's how I personally would play it, based on my own risk-reward parameters. Yeah, so I think it could go up. ON, it hit my level here today perfectly. My level is 2103. Yeah. I think ON could go higher tomorrow for a one-day bounce at least. Biker. I think Tesla gets to 323. It's a little breakout today and a bullish engulfing bar. Yeah, I like what you're watching, Biker. I like what you're watching here. A little bull flag. I really wish you closed above the exponential 21 moving average. You missed it by 6 cents. You closed at 316.81. The level's 316.87. Obvious trigger would be 318.23, and then maybe you break out higher from there. My thoughts on Grow, it's a little crap name, just like every other name that we made big bucks on. It has part of Hy-V, a blockchain. You're telling me that Google's not going to make one of these blockchains and it's not going to be better than all these companies? This is hype. The company sucks. It's garbage. Could head higher. I could see it heading higher, but just know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with something like Riot. You're dealing with something like SREX. You're dealing with something like Grow. You're now dealing with something like XIN. This is the one I'm watching for a follow-through because this one had one day of an up move, unlike all the others. That's why I'm watching Zin or Shin Yuan or I'm not good at pronouncing it, but I'm pretty sure I'll be good at trading it. And Snapchat, as I told you guys from day one, zero respect for the management of the company. A bunch of conceited asshats again. That's my new favorite word of the day, an asshat. Because why am I, I'm not making fun of them because their company is going down. I mean, I basically bashed this day one. I bashed this company day one. Why? Number one, they don't make money. Number two, there's zero voting rights on these shares. You can't even vote on these shares. So you have to trust these two computer nerds, and I say that very endearingly. You have to trust these two computer nerds that they're good businessmen. And sorry, I just don't trust that. I simply do not trust that. Yeah, they have all the say in the company. Congratulations. You guys written some algorithmic code, it went viral, and now you own a multi-billion-dollar company. Congratulations. Welcome to America. Only in America could stupidity like this blossom into something of phenomenal fruition. Oh, by the way, they don't make money. Oh, by the way, they don't really care what you think about it because none of these shares have voting rights. I hope this company files bankruptcy and Wall Street learns a lesson to avoid companies that lose money and take away your voting rights. If you want to take away voting rights, do what Google did. You don't want to vote? G-O-O-G. You do want to vote? G-O-O-G-L. Beautiful. You want to have a say in what happens? Your stock's worth a little more. You don't? It's worth a little less. Beautiful. Do what Google did instead of what these clowns did. I don't like this company. I can't stand the management. I hope their company goes bankrupt. If I see something bullish, I'll buy it. Because that's who I am. But I think they're conceited and I think they're idiots. In terms of business sense, I'm sure they're computer geniuses. In a business sense, they're complete and utter morons. So there. Mark, what are we doing with Nutanix? I mean, I did get a little, I did get slightly turned off today by this wedge pattern. It looks a little bit like a rising wedge. So what do I think can happen on Nutanix? I think we go down to this exponential 8 moving average and then we bounce and go all the way back higher. So my thoughts, I wouldn't short it here by any stretch of the imagination. My thought is only buy it, but ignore it for now. Let it pull back to this little yellow line, the exponential 8 moving average on the daily, and then we'll jump in. That's my thoughts. Barbara, is Weight Watchers still bearish? Yes, and their food sucks and their program sucks, and Oprah Winfrey, who bought it, got a free $250,000 for putting her face on this company. Congratulations. I know I would too. I'll be the face of anything. I'll be the face of, people like to dress up as teddy bears and put on pink ballerina costumes if you give me $250,000,000. And the fact that Oprah is behind it makes me not even, okay, that's good for business, but I think we could go down to, in Weight Watchers, probably 38, 39 bucks. Priyanka, you ready for this? Adobe, too strong. Let it go down. Extremely bullish, 177.66 tomorrow. Your support on Adobe. IBM, don't like this above ascending resistance. It could get to 153.20, then it looks like neutral or a short for me. I prefer to avoid this name. Costco still hasn't fully recovered after being Amazon. When Amazon encroaches upon your business. I said it 100 times over that people who shop at Costco couldn't give two you-know-whats about shopping at Whole Foods. That's my thought on the matter. Bullish, I think this thing goes higher. I think we could get as high as 180.45 in Costco. Micron, much needed rest, fought the exponential 8 moving average, is holding it. Ignore it for now. UPS, oh, people are mailing things during Christmas. Beautiful breakout here. Failing the 21. Support tomorrow, 114.01. Waste management, bullish. Would need to pull back massively for me to be excited, 77.43. Chicago Bridge and Iron, digesting in a descending channel in the middle with a below moving averages, neutral, absolutely neutral. I would avoid it. YBO, block trade went off today in YBO. Breaking underneath, ascending, bearish. This is bearish to me. I think we could get down to 109. Level to go long on General Electric tomorrow. For me, I would consider buying General Electric at $17.64 tomorrow. Ravi, how many stocks like Stitch Fix do I give in a year? Depends. It could be 1. It could be 30. It could be 50. There's no good answer for that, unfortunately. I wish I knew. Jeff, do I see Goldman Sachs near support levels? Get a fresh look. Yeah. Yep. Tomorrow, that support level 232.93. I'm going to take the liberty and set an alert there for you, Jeff. And if it hits intraday either tomorrow or any day in the future, I'll let you know immediately. I have the same thoughts on Sprouts Farmers Market. Fundamentally very bullish. Technically, you're going to want to see it get above 22.27. This is the company in which I said Walmart should buy. And I'm sure some of you are listening on YouTube and you don't understand where I go with these. And I'm not always right. I mean, no one is. But I did predict and badgered nonstop that Amazon should buy Whole Foods 6 months before they did it. I was that person. There were no articles out talking about what I was talking about, and it happened. For me, Walmart would have to be complete idiotic imbeciles if they don't see the obvious opportunity with associating themselves with a discount organic company like Sprouts Farmers Market. Tremendous mistake if they don't do that. Very fundamentally bullish, Priyanka. Is CMG bearish? I don't know. Their food's disgusting. You know who has better Mexican food than Chipotle? Any Chinese restaurant. I'm serious. Like, go inside like any Chinese restaurant, order Mexican food. They'll act like they don't know what you're talking about. Then you say, okay, can you take like one of those rice wraps they have, put ground beef in it, and put like beans and vegetables, and they'll say, okay, and whatever, concoction they formulate for you will be better Mexican food than anything in any Chipotle Mexican grill. And I mean hole in the wall Chinese food. I'm not like talking upscale restaurant. I don't know. It looks a little bearish. I could see it maybe dropping to 268.15, but I would ignore it here. I have no opinion on Lazy Boy. I don't know if they'll beat or not. I would make one argument though. How many of you guys, when was the last time anyone here bought a Lazy Boy? Let's look at it on the monthly. Interesting. When was the last time anyone here bought a Lazy Boy? When was the last Lazy Boy you bought? What year? Well, don't tell me the month if it's many years ago, but when did you buy the last Lazy Boy? No opinion on earnings. I'll analyze it though on Wednesday prior to the close. However, my thoughts on AFSI, Amtrust. I don't know. Is it trying to come back up on a bearish bounce? Maybe. Nothing special. Pass. Did they report? Weren't they supposed to report? What happened? Earnings aside, which could bring it up or down, it looks like it had a bullish close today. And I'd love to see it break 1192. You make the best tacos with turkey? Yeah, I bet. Use some like ground turkey, or use like turkey strips. Sure, both would taste awesome. Okay, Walter, you're one of our YouTubers. You're asking about Autodesk. It's obviously phenomenally bullish. Let me just do the quick analysis right now. What are my thoughts on Autodesk? I'll actually try to guess it. Close, they open up 4.5 points higher. 518, they opened up 12 points higher. March 2nd. March 2nd, close. Close higher, lower. 1129. They opened up flat and headed lower. No real thoughts here on Autodesk for earnings. I'm going to end up passing and probably not making a trade in it. I think your chances of getting a major gap down are low, but that doesn't mean you're going to get a big move up either. That would be my opinion on that one, Walter. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the NewsBeat nightly trading broadcast. Happy trading, make money, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the NewsBeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.